session, and it's our number 7. The next session that we are going to have is we are going to have a role play. So this is like the last of the theoretical part of the training, and I am really happy that like everyone has given so much attention and so much energy into this training. Also, the POAP for this and last week's session is the same, so that's why I haven't sent some of them, but I will be sending them. And today I want to present like the documents that we have been writing and producing in Gravity, because the idea after the end of this training is that we can have after the a planning session to design a new roadmap and to plan our roadmap as a group after the training is done. So, well, I want to show you like what was the initial document where Gravity was first like sketched, and it was this document. I mean, I invite all of you to like open these documents and to take some time to read them, because it's like a work that we have been doing for months, and this is like the where we first made the proposal name and why did we do it, how are we going to do Gravity, and all of this is like the basis that led us to be doing this training right now. And it says like how we're going to do it, and we are trying to follow Elinor Ostrom principles, especially 4, 5, and 6. And here it is like all the information that stands how Gravity was being built. Like we want to have transparent human monitoring, and it's amazing that right now we have another working group that is called Transparency, and that is like really close to the activities that Gravity is doing, and that they complement each other, because they are helping us in the part of the human monitoring and on the mutual monitoring, and then we are also trying to help on the part of accountability and graduated sanctions, and on the part of easy access for conflict management. So like Gravity is born in the TEC and is nurtured from the other working groups, as we have already had like Libby from the SoftGov working group presenting a session. Both Transparency, SoftGov, Legal, and Gravity are groups that work really close together, and with all the working groups. So like here you can read what was the idea and how we were going to like measure the scale of the sanctions and the scale of the problems, and how we were going to promote a strategic nonviolent communication, and the alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. So like here you can see where we gathered all the ideas to do what we are doing now. And we have here like draft for conflict management resolution program from the TEC, which can eventually support other DAO communities. And it says we could have conflict management training once a year, each one ending with a conflict management certification. That is what we're doing. And like we are following these steps, and people who pass the training and show the soft skills can be part of this trusted group. So yeah, it's like this plan that we have been following, and is leading us to this moment where we are right now. These are the values of and the principles of the organization that we saw last week, that is pro-social, human-centered, safety, integrity, open source, non-hierarchical, transparent, accountable, value-driven. So, and these are some of the reference that we had to propose the process of gravity. Like one of the parties approaches to an alternative dispute resolution center that in this case would be Gravity, and request a mediation. Gravity provides a list of names of available mediators from which the parties may elect the mediator. The list will be done after this training, the list of gravitons that will be available. The parties will provide Gravity with the relevant documents pertaining to the dispute, and the Gravity provides that information to the mediator. And yes, these are like the steps that we have been trying to follow. And you can see that this is not like the same, but we have been taking some orientation from other institutions. So yes, then we had like some stories. So there's like a little bit of background on what we're doing. On top of that, we have the Graviton Manifesto. That is the manifesto of the working group, where it states what is the goal that we are pursuing, and what is the deadline of our scope, of our roadmap. And this is something that I want to share with you, because this is also really important for transparency, like for all the people to understand what is the manifesto. And this is updated. So this is something that we will be working on after the training. Here you can see like what's our goal: train members of the community in skills to promote nonviolent communication, empathy, understanding, and management of conflict, to build a culture of well-being and trust between members of the community, and also manage conflict and support soft governance rules inside the TEC, improve the code of conduct, define graduated sanctions that, as we saw, are not like sanctions to punish, more as sanctions to restore, and like actions to teach people and to correct behavior, but in a very loving way. We also have been defining the role of the conflict mediator, that is the role of gravitons. So yes, this is something that we will have to review as a collective, and like, what is the success of our working group? That people in the community recognize the cultural build and graduated sanctions, acting coherently to the values in the organization, but when disputes arise, there are clear steps to follow in order to receive assistance in the effective search and implementation of solutions. So this roadmap ends in the 11th of March. So it ends next week after the 8th session. And I am proposing that after that in 2 weeks, when we have our first generation of gravitons, we still gather at the same time to have like a hack session on what like contributions from the gravitons can we use to design this new roadmap, because there are some things that we still like need to think about. Like we need to schedule the next training that hopefully happens the same year. We also need to define a marketing and a relationship strategy to search for other organizations and to promote our service between DAOs, so that we can provide the service. And also we have to find like financial plans. Like we need to do financial planning, like how are we going to sustain the work, and how are we going to reward the gravitons. So this is like a very open discussion that I wouldn't like want to impose my own point of view, but rather I think that between the group of gravitons we can reach to really good agreements. Also, I would appreciate if you can put your name here in this list of members in the manifesto, so that we can see all the people that have been contributing to this working group. Also, as I have been talking about transparency, there is this really amazing document that Septimus and Ivy did, and I think that is a really amazing initiative that complements very well with Gravity, and is to have like audits of the working groups. Because if we want to have like transparency, it's not only to say that we are transparent, but to have certain accountability methods that are public, where people can see what we're doing and on which stages on which stages of our roadmap are we, and the idea of these audits is that they are public to the organization, so that if anyone sees that the audit doesn't reflect the work that is being done in the working group, they can like talk about it, so that we can see what is happening and what was the lack of transparency in the working group, or not just like to investigate, but more to prevent and to show that everything that we're doing is like open to review, and that everyone can have access to all the information that is being made and produced in the TEC, and also that we ourselves can show the work that we are doing, because transparency is really good as also to promote the good things that we're doing. Transparency is not like to show the bad things that happen. No, it's like it is like to promote and to invite people to be very communicative for the work that they've been doing, that they are doing to the whole community. So this is the criteria that they are using. So does the manifesto reflect the current goals of the working style of the team? And this was my answer. Like our current roadmap proposes the start of a conflict management platform, but we have to update the roadmap regarding the next steps after the hatch, like a strategy to offer conflict management service to organizations. And it's really important that we as Gravitons also support this kind of jobs, because these are jobs to promote trust in the community, and trust in the work that is being done, and that we have no problem of showing what we're doing. So I am saying that it would be very important to have a hack session after the Graviton trainings to prepare the new strategy for post-hatch, and also to include contribution from Gravitons. And like until now, the main task of the contributors is to participate in the Gravity trainings and claim the POAPs. But after the Graviton training is done, like you will have other responsibilities within the working group. And I highly encourage you to take responsibilities, because this is something that we are promoting, and that for the success of it, it needs like participation from multiple points of view, and different people, and not just like a unidirectional way of doing things. So yes, I want to show what we are doing and what we are trying to be held accountable for, and that we are also monitoring ourselves. And this is a very important issue also to put in practice Austrian principles, we are monitoring ourselves. It's not an external entity who is monitoring our behavior or our actions. What the ones that monitor our activities are ourselves. Here are also the notes of the working group calls that we had before starting this training. And here are the notes for the introductory session that we had, where people like shared a little bit about themselves and like what brought them there. So you can like see that this what we are doing is the product of work that has been done through several months. And I really like thank all the people that have been working in these documents, like Grief, Livy, Durga, Tamara. Yes, because it's also the reflect of the advice process that we have in this community. That when you have an idea, like other people like foster you to improve that idea and give you like other ideas to how to ground your ideas, or give you very good questions that make you reflect on your initial thinking and how you can improve that. So this is something really good for the community to provide this advice service and this advice process. So now I want to show what is going to be the form that we are going to fill for the mediation or conciliation sessions. And this is the mediation form. Like, it's a very standard form, and the idea is that here we put the organization name, like, I don't know, Aragon, and or like, yes, any name, or the Token Engineering Commons. And here we can know what is the organization, and this is the mediation session that we are going to lead, which are the participants that are involved, and these are some of the ground rules of the session. And it's like, the parties shall endeavor to settle a dispute set out in one scheduled mediation. If the mediator agreed upon the parties cannot or does not accept an invitation to mediate, then the parties may agree on choosing another mediation from the Graviton list. The mediator shall endeavor to assist the parties to settle the dispute by agreement, and unless agreed otherwise, the mediator shall not adjudicate the dispute, recommend a solution to the dispute, advise a party on the merits of the dispute, or negotiate a settlement of the dispute in behalf of a party. The mediator shall have the discretion to conduct the mediation of the dispute in such manner as the mediator determines. Unless otherwise agreed by writing by the parties, the mediation shall be administered by the parties. The mediator may communicate with the parties orally or in writing, together or individually, and may convene a meeting after consulting the parties. Each party undertakes to cooperate in good faith with the mediator in the conduct of the mediation of the dispute. The mediation proceedings shall be confidential and conducted without prejudice basis, and the mediator shall not disclose to any person other than a party any information first obtained during the mediation of the dispute without the prior written consent of the parties, or unless compelled by law to do so. So this is like a form that Gravitons will have. And for every mediation session or conciliation that we may have, we are going to take notes. We're going to be followed by these ground rules, and we are going to take notes from the session according to these steps. First, we are going to talk about feelings. These steps are very coherent to the steps of non-violent communication. So I am assuming that observation is being done as a previous step from the mediation, and in the mediation we start with an initial observation, and then we share feelings and we take notes from the feelings of the parts. Then it's important for every part to feel heard and to value each one of the feelings of the parts, and to take the feelings as something valuable for the looking of the solution of the dispute. And for identifying needs, then we move into identifying needs on what caused the initial situation, and what are the needs that reflect that need to be addressed through the dispute. Like the dispute then reflects what are the and the feelings then reflect what are the needs that are in like in the center of the conflict, so that we can like also then move to identify and to propose requests where each of the parties can give a little part and receive a little part, so that we build the bridge between the zone of possible agreement. Like then after we identify that the needs of each of the parties were can be like can be met, and that we identify what are the prior things for each of one of them, then we try to formulate requests, like what can you give and what can I give, so that we can meet halfway. Then we would try to talk about what can we learn from this, because after every dispute there's something that we can learn, and some good outcomes that or insight points that we can take from that dispute. Then we can have like a reconciliation ritual. That is something that I like promote, but that is also like depends of how the Graviton feels about their process. They have certain autonomy on like if they want to make a ritual of reconciliation, or if they want to do a meditation, or if they want to like just like lead without like if they don't know how to lead like a reconciliation ritual, well yeah, this is not imposed, but it's really good to wrap the issue with that, like to say, okay, now that we have talked all this, let's wrap this and let's like move on with our lives. And the reconciliation ritual that I propose is Ho'oponopono, that you like already have heard me talk about it. And it's like to people to say to the other, thank you, I love you, forgive me, or I forgive you, and I'm sorry. So just like pronouncing this between two parties, those like that like breaks the ice and heals the wounds. So it's like a good way to end the session. And these are the only two topics that are like done by the mediator after the meeting. And is like, was there an agreement? They have to say yes or no, and they describe the agreement if necessary. Like yeah, like describe the that what happened, not what happened, the solution, and what like each of the parties like gave, and what each of the parties like received, so that we can like state like the where is that, or how is that bridge was built between the two parties. And yeah, what was the agreement that was taken in the situation. So this is a form that you will all have, and when the moment is right that you have to mediate any session. And then we will have a spreadsheet where we will have only the information relating to if there is to the if there was an agreement and what was the graviton that took the case, and some like links to follow the thread, and like the date of the agreement. So it's like just a registry that we will have for the sessions that and mediation services that we provide. Do you have any questions? Okay, so I will continue. And why it is so important to receive the POAPs, and why is it so important to certify ourselves as gravitons. And as I am saying, like I am not making this with my from what I think only, but there are references that we have been using to promote this this group, and one of these reference is the International Mediation Institute. And what do? They first train the people, and then make the people have experience on the training that they had, and then after they certify the people is competent and able to provide the service of mediation. So this is like an international mediation institute that is like that like it's fully functional, and we are also like taking this like career pathway, so that after the training we will gain experience as gravitons, and then we will be able to provide this service to decentralized organizations. So yes, that is the point of the certification, that we have taken time, that we have studied, that we have accepted certain requirements of the role, and that we have and that we are competent to provide the service that we say that we will provide, and this the mediation in disputes. And this is like the steps that we have been following to provide alternative dispute resolution for DAOs. And as I said, it's like we will have these training courses twice or 3 times a year. And the people who pass the training can become part of this trusted group of conflict resolution supporters. This is something that I would like to talk with the gravitons, like when we finish this training, and it's like, how are we going to promote meritocracy and goodwill, and how are we going to have our parameters of our own DAO, or even for the organization. And yes, the agreements are tracked to ensure accountability. That is the registry spreadsheet. But also, that document is private. So I just show it you because there is nothing in that document. But after this Graviton training, this document is going to be private, so that only the gravitons can see our registry. It's going to be very private, and that the conflict management process doesn't end on the potential agreement. Then we can have KPIs or follow-ups or strategies to like keep up and for some of the conflicts or some of the situations that may arise, and that we can like see the progress that they have been having after the the action of gravity, and like to see even and to have our own measurements of of the impact that we have, if how many conflicts can we like mediate, or how many of, or what are the situations that are harder, or yes, these are some like questions that will arise eventually, and that we will be that we will need to be prepared to ask ourselves and to look for answers. And this is something really important, that this is a very voluntary process that can be called by one of both parts. But to proceed, there should be willingness to address the issue by all parts involved, and when one part doesn't recognize or doesn't want to address the issue through gravity, we cannot force them to do it. Like this whole thing is based on dialogue and in communication, and when and in recognition of a possible agreement. But when the parts don't want to do that, then that is the boundary where we like where we finish our, where we cannot like push forward, and we will need to find what are going to be like the scaling methodologies that we are going to use if a problem cannot be solved through gravity. Like what is going to be that second layer that I show here. Like we are going to have an internal management layer, but how are we going to provide this, or what are going to be the institutions that we will rely on when the capabilities of handling the issue on an internal way um, uh, um, stay short when to a really complex situation. So what I am saying here is that we still have a lot of work to do, and that the Graviton training, to end the Graviton training, is not to end your activity in gravity. Instead of that, is to start the activity in gravity. And after this, we will also give start and to this process, and we will also like try to improve on what we have already been doing. So with that, I just want to invite you to the next session that we will be having a practical case of a group conflict. And I have designed this activity that is the end of the world game. And the explanation time, I will take 10 minutes of the next call to explain a little bit. But the world is ending, and you will have 45 minutes to find the best possible outcome for all of you. And each of you will receive a role that has to be played in the activity. Can you find a collective solution? You will have from 45 to 50 minutes to make the activity, and these are the roles. Each role will have a handicap, a unique skill, an interest, an antagonist, and we within those like and they will also have like an account balance, a bank account balance. So with all that information, you will have to try to like, yes, save the life of all the possible or all the like, yeah, the most people that, or in the most engineering way that we can find, or the best way that we can find to like try to save um this small population that we are going to have. So it's gonna be really fun. Do you have any questions in this moment?
So how are we gonna pick the roles? Are you gonna distribute them?
Yes, I am going to distribute them. I already made a spreadsheet, and I have like the activity planned. I will just DM them. Maybe I will DM them before the session so that you can like study your role, and I will send them when I send the POAPs from this and the last session meeting that are the same. So, well, I think that is what I wanted to share for this session. If anyone wants to add something, this is the moment, or if not, we can end up and wrap up this session a little bit earlier than normal, because I know that we have a lot of work to do.
Thank you, Juan.